Hello and welcome to TU Dublin Talks, episode 8. My name is Daniel O'Donovan. I'll be your host for this episode, and joining me today is Eleanor Ryan Doyle. How are you, Ellie?
Hello, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good. How are you keeping?
Good, yeah. It's a bit quiet during isolation, but it's getting good, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a bit quiet for everyone. I know we've just obviously, we're recording now at the stage. It's just the day after we've been told that we have an extra 3.5 weeks added on to the isolation. So obviously not really a great time for everyone, but we'll keep keeping on as we have been, and hopefully things will get better by the 5th of May.
Exactly.
So we have Ellie on today, one of our more prolific students in the college, and you'll find out why upon listening to the episode. But just for anyone at home who might not know you, do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, Eleanor Ryan Doyle. I'm 21 and I'm studying sports management coaching, and I play for Peamount United.
Very good. So Ellie, be one of our fourth year students, is about to make the jump out into the big bad world. Please God, anyways, with all this going on. So like I said, Ellie be one of our more high profile students, and we're gonna get into our story a bit. So Ellie would be an elite scholarship student playing soccer for the college. So obviously with that being your sport, we'll kind of jump straight into that. And how did you get involved in football?
Actually, out in the green, right beside my house, just playing with my brother and sister and playing on the road with my mum and dad, and just kind of went on from there. I just joined the local football team, lads team, only girl on the team and all. And yeah, didn't stop then.
And what was the local team?
Beach Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're Lucan based, aren't you?
Yeah, Lucan.
So obviously you're mentioning your sister, so shout out to Emily. Emily would have been in my year when I started, so I'd know her. But yeah, you started off like a lot of us kind of, we'll call it street football, kind of playing out on the road, on the green, which I suppose you don't see, not that you don't see too much of now, but I think culture's kind of changed now, and you don't see a whole lot of kind of kids out playing on the roads anymore, which is a bit disheartening at times, but like saying times change. So you said you've started playing with the local team, the boys team, the only girl on the team.
Yeah.
Obviously I know you were young, you probably don't remember a whole lot of it, but did you ever kind of know, would you ever think of anything like, oh, I'm the only girl on the team? Did you ever kind of wonder why, or did you just play?
I just played most of the time. It was funny because the lads used to be like, oh, there's a girl on the other team, and then next while I just, run past them and they'd be like, oh.
Oh, she's actually decent.
She's all right, she can kick the ball.
So you went then, obviously you started off with the local team. How did you progress on from there, as you kind of got older?
Yeah, so I think I was 8 and I had a final with Beach Park, and Peamount had a team, a boys team, and they came over to my mum and dad and were like, oh, Peamount have a girls team as well. So I think that's how I got into the girls at the age of 8 or 9, and me and my sister actually played for the boys team as well, and she was the only girl as well. But I think from there we went up to Peamount, and we both actually played with the boys team and playing with the girls team at the same time. So that kind of, the boys made us physically stronger, but I think the girls, obviously you have to then give up with the boys. So I think it was good kind of stepping stone for us there. Yeah,
that's something I was going to actually ask you about. Do you think that it's you see some kids that play kind of a year up or 2 years up when they're younger, if they're quite good, they get told to kind of play with an older age group to challenge them a bit more. I think that definitely would have played part in your development. So you've gotten to kind of involve with Peamount now, and you're in with the girls. Am I right in saying I remember playing as a kid, and there was the rule that a girl could be 2 years older than the boys' age that if she played in the team? Was that the case for you, or did you play same age with the boys?
No, I played same age actually. Yeah, I think you could play, but I just never did or whatever.
So that's even harder again. Playing.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you were say 9 playing on under 7s boys team, it would have been kind of level, somewhat probably leveling at the playing field for the most part. But playing with obviously lads your own age of development at the same time. I suppose that would have been a bit more difficult, but obviously not for you because you seem to do quite well, and same with Emily. But then you've gotten obviously into girls football then, and it's structured that way, and you're with Peamount. So take us through your the years leading on then from when you joined Peamount.
Yeah, so I think I would have joined Peamount at the age of, say, 7, not 7 or 8, sorry, 8 or 9. And so from then I played all the way up. I used to play 2 years ahead, like, so I used to play with the older team with my sister actually on the team. And so we played the whole way up together underage. And then I think at under 18s and 16s we had to break off. So that was us not playing together anymore. And
few tears shed.
Yeah, she don't have me on the team. But yeah, I think at the age of 15 I started, I think, training with the 14 actually, trained with the women's national league team. But obviously you couldn't play until you're 15. So just trained with them for the year, like, unbelievable team there was at the time, like. And yeah, I know I did move from Peamount to UCD.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
But yeah.
What was that like then, being a 14-year-old going into like a women's dressing room and stuff like that and training and being part of the squad at that age?
Yeah, it was kind of scary, I must say. Like, there was big players like there, and I think it was the time actually Steph Roach scored her goal. They're all talking about training.
The Puskas Award.
Yeah, they're all talking about training. Like, here's me, like, what are they on about? Like, and then all blew up. So yeah, like, there was a good few players on that team, and I think that kind of helped me kind of develop more playing with them players, and at such a young age, and kind of boosted like your confidence in a way, like. Yeah.
Because I remember I've seen some stuff and read some stuff on like talent development in football, and they'd say like playing against all their age groups or kind of physically bigger players like you would have done with the lads when you were young, and then even stepping into a senior dressing room at the age of 14, it kind of forces players to develop more technical skills. So kind of your touch on the ball, passing, evading players and stuff like that. Because you'll even see with kids, the big kid in the team kind of just like muscles people out of the way and is able to just run through them, where you have the little tiny kid that has to tiptoe, use a bit of skill and stuff like that. So I think that definitely would have played a part in kind of moulding you into the player you are today. Obviously being quite skillful and being able to run the pitch, really. Like, I won't even say be players, like being able to actually run the pitch.
Yeah.
You've obviously kind of done it. It's been coming from grassroots all the way up. So you did mention, obviously, you've had a brief stint with UCD Waves, who are now DLR Waves, for anyone that knows it. How did that come about, that you've left Peamount for a season?
So at the age of 15, I could play National League then. So I decided that I might as well stay at Peamount. I didn't have the experience or ever, and I just wanted to kind of see what National League was all about. And Peamount lost their whole team to UCD at the time with Eileen Gleeson. She moved over to UCD and managed them. So I decided to stay the year at Peamount, get my experience playing at that level, and so there was a completely new team. And then that team, after the end of the year, we folded again, and Eileen asked me again, did I want to move over to UCD? So I couldn't have said no. With the experience of her as a manager and coach, and even the players I was playing with over there, I couldn't say no.
Yeah, really. I suppose game time is obviously an experience is very important. I suppose you get them when you eventually did go back to Peamount, you have a bit more kind of experience under your belt and a bit more minutes on the pitch and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know when I was playing Peamount the very first year, like, I was getting, starting the game, getting most minutes or whatever. So that's what I really wanted. When you're starting off a senior level, that's what you want. You don't want to be sitting on the bench, like. Yeah. And I think that kind of helped me, because like getting the minutes and just kind of improve myself playing at that level, like, you know what I mean, which was good. And then stepping over to UCD, I got minutes because I had that experience from the year before behind me, so it was good.
That's it. You can see a lot of young players as well that might get brought up into a senior dressing room that might be a bit young, and will be reluctant to kind of go back down and play, say if it's 19s or 17s football, or to go elsewhere to try and get minutes, and they'd be like, I'm in a senior team now, so I'm going to try and stay there. But like, for young players, it's very tough, especially kind of you're saying you're 15, 16. It's very hard to try and throw a young player in the deep end and like expect them just to kind of, you need to, obviously it's about when you're in national league level, you're kind of your top level. That's the highest level you can go over here, and like results matter. It's not like, I know we talk about development and helping players progress ability wise, but at that, you're getting to that level, you have to get points on the board. So
exactly. That's what I say to younger people. Like, if you're in a senior team, you might as well go to a team that you're going to get game time, because you need to build up that experience for yourself and kind of improve yourself before you improve everything else. Like,
Right, so then you've come back to the Holy Land of Peamount.
yeah.
When would that have been? About 2016, 17 or so?
I think so. Yeah.
So then you obviously come back a bit more experienced, a bit older, a bit wiser. How did you kind of kick on from there?
Oh, we actually had a great season that one when I came back. I was actually really happy going back, like, because I know UCD was kind of like idling left and stuff. So that's kind of my reason behind leaving UCD at the time as well. And I know Peamount had a great setup from youth coming up and great team. So came back, and that season we we actually were about to win the league, and last match of the season we lost, and we lost the league by 2 points, I think.
It's a tough one.
Rough it was, yeah.
Were you welcome back to Peamount with open arms?
Yeah. The girls were actually, yeah, the girls were great. Like, it was great going back, and kind of felt like going home, do you know, the type of way. Yeah, it was great.
So I know you're saying then you've kind of just missed out on winning the league by 2 points, which obviously would be, like, after seasons of hard work, would be heartbreaking. But you have then went on the next year and won the National League Cup in 2018.
Yes.
So you've kind of kicked on then, probably learned from your, not saying mistakes, but just kind of how to see it out the full way.
Yeah.
Was that your first kind of senior bit of silverware then, was it?
It was actually my, I'm going to say, 5th League Cup in a row. And it was my first time winning. So with Peamount and UCD, and I think Peamount again, we lost all the League Cups, and my 5th time lucky, I finally won a gold medal.
And what was that like then, just to finally get your hands on it?
Oh, it was probably one of the best moments ever. Like, playing at that such a high level and winning some silverware, like, that's kind of like the moments
and obviously still being so young as well. It's great. And then you went on the following year, which would be this year.
Yeah.
And I'll let you explain how the season went this year, because he's obviously had a roller coaster.
Yeah, we had a great season. We won the league finally. We went, I can't even remember how many matches unbeaten, but unbelievable. Like, and winning the last match at home to win the league was just unbelievable feeling.
Yeah, and obviously you play alongside Nisha McAloon, who would be the goalkeeper for our women's team in Blanche, and one of our other elite scholarship students. Obviously yourself and Nisha playing together for a while now, would be good friends and stuff like that. What was it kind of like? I know obviously you had the rest of the girls as well. From what you've kind of told me about Peamount, that you are a really close group, and I think it's a bit extra to kind of win it when you feel like you're winning it with your friends.
Oh, definitely. Like, we're such a close team, and like, we get along so well, and I think that kind of helps with us or whatever. So I think even when Nisha and stuff, we used to go to training and all together, and just, it was great, like, having the girls so close. And I think as kind of a tight-knit group, I think you're delighted more because you're happy for everyone else as well as yourself.
Definitely. So obviously we've talked about, like, you've won a National League Cup and then the Women's National League, and they're obviously fantastic achievements, and it's like highlights. But we're going to talk a little bit about some lower points in terms of Aviva finals. So obviously you've made it to the Aviva for the cup final 2 years in a row. Played Wexford both times and were unfortunately beaten both times. Just of you, because obviously you'd be an elite player. Like, how does go back to the first one 2 years ago? How did it feel, and how did that impact you, that loss?
I think, well, I was nervous.
Of course.
Very nervous. Playing at your national stadium, and the pitch is huge. I can't even explain how big the pitch is.
I know it looks big. I've only ever seen it from stands, like from watching Ireland games and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think I could do 90 minutes running around on it.
You stand on the pitch, you're like, how am I going to last this 90 minutes? Because it's unbelievable. But yeah, we unfortunately lost 1-0 the first year. And I think that was a down point definitely for us. Like, but we knew as a team we had to kind of keep our heads up, and we know we can obviously win more things. And at the end of the day, like, I know even this year we lost again, so close to even.
Do you think this year might have been the year? Like, you've won the league,
definitely.
And obviously you were beaten the year before, and you kind of you play each other a lot. You know what they're like, but did you have a thought of maybe this could be the year? Like,
definitely, because I think we beat Wexford this year 3 times in the league, so we were like, oh, very confident or whatever. But I think the occasion got to us. They've been at the Aviva a few times now, and they're a great team as well. So I'll give that to them. And they play better in the day. And I know we kind of just, the week before we won the league, so I think our heads were too high, and our confidence was just lacking a bit.
I suppose, yeah, like a lot of things do play into it, and like you say, you can do all the prep and you've gone in, like you've obviously just won the league, you're doing great all season, you've beaten them 3 times already, and everything so far has been going right, but come finals anything can happen, and it kind of shows. And like you've mentioned, obviously Wexford are a good team, and they are, so there's no sort of disrespect. It's not as if you weren't, I know you've beaten them already a couple of times, but you're still not really expected to go and win. It's still, people will be looking at it and think this is still going to be a game, like they wouldn't be counting Wexford out. So we've done it. I think we're going to go into a little bit of a sandwich. So we talked about you've won a cup and a league in 2 years, and then we've obviously had 2 unfortunate final losses in the Aviva. But just to finish off, 2019, and you were named in the Women's National League Team of the Year, yourself and Nisha, and a couple of obviously other Peamount girls, which was really, really, really good. I think did you finish as top scorer for Peamount?
No, I didn't. There's 3 of us.
Just about.
Yeah, there's 3 of us who had close enough, but I think Anya and Megan got more than me anyway.
You finished with what? How many goals in the end?
League, I think something like 18 maybe.
And then you a couple in the cup as well.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how many. Maybe 5.
Lost count. But I suppose like obviously at times I know you play as a 10 or like a false 9 for Peamount. You're not necessarily like the out and out striker, so to be kind of that goal scoring ratio with 23 goals in like it'd be 30 odd games is unreal. Like and obviously to be named in Team of the Year, and also to be shortlisted for the actual Player of the Year for the Women's National League. What a season.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely some proud moments. And I know it was Rihanna Jarrett who was picked, who was voted Player of the Year for the National League, and obviously Rihanna then went and signed for Brighton over in England. So it shows the level of competition you're being pegged up against. So a great year, lots of highs, lots of proud moments. You've obviously then represented Ireland in your time, kind of growing up, right up all the way into senior representation. But bring us back to your first call up and your first kind of cap. Who was that against, and when was it?
So it would be. It would have been Ireland schools now, under 15s. So I think I was in first year of school. So I was 13, I think, at the time, and there was like a nations kind of cup or whatever. So I think, who did I come on against? I can't even think now. Maybe Wales or England or one of them. And so that would have been kind of like the school's kind of first cap. And then
your first actual kind of say like under whatever.
Under 16s development I played then. So it would have been, I can't even, like, do you know?
So long ago now.
I actually can't even think who my first cap was against.
Too many caps to count.
That's actually terrible that I don't even know. But yeah, I've had good memories with Ireland and stuff. But
and then obviously you've played right up then, and when I say like a senior representation, that like you've obviously like for people that are kind of listening, being like senior, like Ellie's represented us, our senior women's national team. So the likes of your Louise Queens and stuff like that, you're involved with them. So can you bring us through your call up for the senior squad and what that was like? Yeah,
so I was actually, because we were over in Italy with the World Student Games, so I think it was our last night, and we're all out kind of celebrating doing so well in the tournament, and got an email. A few of the girls were talking, we got an email saying we're on standby for the Irish national team seniors. And so I was like, oh, that's great, that's great. I took a few minutes gone by and I was like, oh, I might check my emails just to see. And so I went on to them and I like my face just dropped, saying, you've been selected for our Ireland National League or whatever team against America, and you're going to LA. And I was like, what?
Did you kind of have to give it like a second look and like?
I was like,
what?
stand by, you're on the team. I was like, what? I just screamed, like I nearly screamed, like I was nearly in tears.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Like, I was like, what?
That's insane, like, because obviously, like, it's for people. I explained a bit as well. We done an episode with Aviva recently, and we were talking about the standard in obviously women's national league. You still get a couple of players who will represent Ireland, like kind of in contrast against, you wouldn't get as many kind of men's League of Ireland players in a senior squad. There is some. We still obviously keep a lot of our top players here in Ireland playing, which is great. But for obviously 2021 being called up, I know in America, for anyone that doesn't know, our current world champions, like best women's team in the world, and you're saying even just like you're gone over to LA, like even if I just got an email being told us being brought to LA for nothing, I'd be buzzing, you know what I mean? And then you're getting told you're going to be involved in the squad to play against like the best team in the world.
Yeah.
So what was the trip like?
Oh, it's great. Like I was in there with unbelievable players, as you mentioned, like Louise Quinn, like Kate McCabe, like all these players, and they're actually like such vast experience of them, like and even training, like I know I was on the bench for the match and all, but even get the training with them, it was like a different, like unbelievable, and just going around LA and stuff and being part of the team was a great experience.
I suppose it'll give you a bit of an incentive as well to be like, this is what I want to be involved in, like all the time. Obviously take a lot of hard work, which you've obviously been doing the whole way up, but you could probably see it, something like this could be achievable if you really put the graft in, like. Exactly,
yeah. Just need to work harder and kind of stay on the team then and get a call up with Vera, you know.
And obviously, like, you got to meet a lot of the American players as well. What were they like?
Oh, my face is just
starstruck.
I was like the likes of Rose Lavelle and even Alex Morgan or whatever, and Julie Ertz, like all these players who are top are just right in front of you. Carly Lloyd, like unbelievable.
Yeah. So then obviously, like, that's your first call. That would have been in August, just gone in 2019. You were called up again then. Am I right in saying it was against Montenegro?
Yeah.
Lovely. Because funny enough, me and Ava were talking about it, about standards in kind of college football, and we had mentioned like there's players like yourselves and Nisha that'll play National League and stuff, and you were getting called up to the senior national team. And I'd said Montenegro, but I was kind of like 75% sure, and I was like, I hope it's right.
So I always get confused. I'm like, Montenegro or Macedonia? I'm like, oh my God, which one is it?
Yeah. So you were called up then for the squad. Was that qualifier?
It was the very first qualifier actually of the campaign.
And so when was that?
It was September. So it was literally, I was in LA in August, and then September was the qualifier. Yeah, we won 2-0.
So obviously you've gone then from being involved in like a friendly, that sort of environment. I know like everything is taken seriously, and you're going to play the world champions again in the shape of USA.
Yeah.
But you're now going into a squad where like there's something on the line here. There's actually something at stake. It's a qualifier for obviously a major competition. Did anything change then? Or did you see any difference between the two times you were involved?
Well, I think I know a few of the players couldn't even go to LA. So the likes of Denise O'Sullivan, unbelievable player, like she wasn't involved in LA, and even her Tyler Tolan training in the first match, like against Montenegro, like even training and all was unbelievable. Like there's kind of that kind of, but it was more of a serious kind of, because there was stuff on the line, like to win. And I know that after that match was when Vera was announced as manager and all, so I think everyone kind of had to up their game as well, as because she was there watching the match and
make an impression.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously, like, you play with Peamount. We mentioned you're current league champions, have won cups and stuff like that. So obviously playing in the top team in the highest standard you can here in Ireland, but just making the step up. Then you're playing, like we mentioned, Louise Quinn and Kate McCabe, who would be Ireland captain, and two of them playing for Arsenal ladies over in England, and a lot of them are like professional footballers over there, full time. How did you cope with the standards?
They're trained full time, and like it's different because we don't have the facilities or whatever over here to be training full time. Or so I think obviously there's always going to be an edge with them players. Like, they're always going to be a higher standard and more, like, obviously fitter and stuff because they have professionalism in their club or whatever. But you can see the step up. But I think if you want it, you can work hard and you can actually be the same. Like,
do your own bits kind of outside of stuff. I know the likes of Niamh Farley on your team would be like doing personal training outside of stuff, and obviously doing your extra bits, as do you, because obviously you'd come to me for a program. Top pro. But like that was little extra bits. That was what gets you the next step up, and that's what the people who aren't doing that stuff, they won't make that step up. So obviously hard work reaps the rewards.
Yeah,
so exactly. You'd mentioned obviously Vera. Then how do you pronounce her surname?
Pauw.
I was gonna kind of go with Paw, but there's a W in there, and I wasn't sure because it's Dutch, so I wasn't sure, like, if it's Dutch, do you pronounce it as a V or do you pronounce it at all? So I didn't want to say just Vera. So Vera Pauw, obviously the new, well, not really new now, but the most recent anyway, Irish women's national team manager, was a professional footballer herself. Obviously, has come in and has done well from, like, what I've seen. I've watched a couple of games, and I think you can really see the Dutch influence on the team, because the senior team play a nice bit of football, which is refreshing to see from Irish teams, which you might not necessarily have gotten from men's teams over the years. Obviously myself and yourself and Niamh and the lads and the little Emma and stuff, and Aoife and your little brother went to watch them in that game in Tallaght Stadium there recently. And it was a really good game to watch, and like it's free flowing football. It's people coming to want the ball, like dropping in, looking for it, demanding the ball off their teammates, and being positive and confident. And hopefully that's something we'll see similarly now with Stephen Kenny coming in to the senior men's team. But it's great. I think obviously you come from Peamount, who's playing a nice bit of football as well, that you can kind of make the step then when you get called in the senior squads, that you're used to playing at that sort of way and that tempo. Think obviously helps. But talk us a little bit. Obviously Vera's only new and you've only been called up recently for the first time. How have you found getting to know her and meeting her and stuff like that? How has she been with you?
Yeah, so at the time when I was picked for the senior team, it was Tom who was manager or whatever, kind of interim manager. And so it's hard when Vera doesn't know you as a player, because she obviously came from Netherlands and kind of came over and kind of knows no one or whatever, just kind of watches videos or has to go back on club matches or whatever. So she did do a few home-based sessions, so which was good. So, and having Eileen there from Eileen Gleeson as coach coming in, like knowing the National League set up and knowing the players, and kind of her influence on Vera picking National League players, which is great actually, because hopefully, as well as Stephen Kenny, like he has that background of the league in Ireland, so hopefully there'll be more home-based players and the lads as well as the women. So yeah, the home-based sessions with Vera were good, very intense. She knows what she wants in players, and I think it's great that she has them home-based sessions going and kind of getting to know myself and other players in the country.
Because obviously then you would have met up. We were at the launch of the CUFL, so the College and University Football League, going back, and she was doing a press conference shortly after. Obviously being the new manager and stuff. I don't know, you met up and got a couple of photos and stuff like that. So obviously it's nice though that she's, like it was yourself and it was Niamh from DCU, able to kind of stop and have a little chat and stuff like that. That's good to see. She's obviously looking to nurture the young players coming through and keeping tabs on you and things like that. So I'm sure that's very encouraging to know that from your senior national team manager that she is that way.
Definitely. Yeah, she's lovely. Like, And I think that's what you need in a manager in Ireland, and kind of influence and help the younger players come up the ranks and all.
So we mentioned then the kind of launch of the CUFL, the College Universities Football League. So I want to kind of come away from Peamount and Ireland for a little bit and just talk about college football. So obviously you're 4th year now. You're a seasoned pro in the college. You've obviously come in 2016. How did you find coming into college? You're obviously coming from secondary school. You're still young. I know you've obviously at this age you've still done lots of stuff. You've played for Ireland. You're playing for Peamount and stuff like that. But you've come in then and started to play college football. How did you find it initially?
I actually loved it. I loved it from the very start. I was enjoying it so much. We actually had a great team first year. Even all the years we did, but great crack. And I think that year we won the league. I think it was the league or the League Cup. I can't remember which one it was. But first year coming into college and winning something for the college, it was brilliant.
And obviously, like, you're coming in and you're kind of fresh-faced first year coming onto the scene. And I even remember, because I would have been in second year at the time, and people are like, people are talking about you, like scoring goals, like scoring 30-yard, 40-yard goals, and like running the pitch and scoring hat tricks and this, that, and the other. And like, who's this like coming in? And then I remember going out to watch games and stuff like that, and just being like, Jesus, like this is a player, like, do you know what I mean? And obviously, then you've been on scholarship from first year on.
Oh, it's great crack.
Obviously, you've been on scholarship then from first year on straight through the 4 years, which is also refreshing to see, because there's a common enough trend that soccer scholarships may not do the 4 years. Some will finish after 3 and take the level 7, or some, because like yourself, like you've obviously come up to the higher level, some end up playing full-time football and will try and pursue that and leave college. But it's nice to see there haven't been too many. Obviously yourself would be one, Jamie Hollywood would be another, and come through the full 4 years on a scholarship and represented us the whole way. But yeah, like you said, you come in and obviously it was a nice bit of fun. I think college football, it's a nice balance. I think it's not as kind of intense, and there's not as much pressure as playing Women's National League and stuff like that. It's obviously, we still take it serious and Blanche and things like that, but it's a little bit kind of, you can have a bit more like fun with it, like relax a little bit and still take it seriously, which is obviously nice.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think it's great for that kind of, when you're playing at such a high level, you kind of need to step back sometimes, and I think that's what college is about, and having a crack with like players from different teams and some who haven't even played before, and I think that's what it's all about really in college, having a bit of crack, and
that's one of the things I mentioned talking to Ave, that the difference in like kind of levels of players is like, you've yourself who's like played for the senior national team, and then you've some girls that would be like, you know what, I want to try out football for the first time in my life, I'm going to go play for the college. And you have like that sort of difference in players. But as I said before, like every kind of team I've seen have been like just really good bunches and just had fun the whole way along, like win, lose or draw, like obviously just trying their best every time, enjoying the experiences, like the away trips and stuff like that, and just getting to know each other and making friends. Because obviously I think, well, from my experience in football in the college, was that you get to meet a lot of people that you probably wouldn't have if you didn't, because they're not in the sports course. Obviously not everyone, a lot of them do be sports management and coaching students, but if you like some business students that play, or early childhood and stuff like that, who realistically you probably might have never crossed paths with if you didn't play or if they didn't play. So it is a nice way to be social.
Yeah, and it's good when you're going around college and you see someone on the team, like and you're like, oh hey, like it's good to have that kind of balance of like even people in your course in your years or whatever, and then going around and knowing different peoples and faces around the college. It's that's what it's all about really in the college football.
Yeah, and obviously you said you come in then in first year and you've won some silverware, also won the futsal as well then.
Yeah, we won the futsal when I was in third year, so last year, and yeah, that was brilliant. Now futsal's good crack, so yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've obviously had a nice college career, been very consistent for us over all the years, and have obviously like a lot of times dragged the team through games by team, like the sheer amount of goals you scored. I'd love to have the stats in front of me to see your ratio and how many it has been, because it's a sick amount, like I can say that anyways.
I think it was high the first year and then it went like that.
I don't know about that now. I don't know. I think you just took the mick a little bit in first year, set the bar too high.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like obviously said, it's obviously It's a lot of fun, and you do come up against other kind of National League players as well when you go to other colleges, and that's nice because you get to see them too. Football's obviously like one big networking community. Even you go play down the country and stuff, and you might see a girl that plays for Cork or something like that you know, and then you just say hello and things like that is nice. So we kind of went away from Ireland, but I'm going back. But this time we're going to talk, and you mentioned it earlier, about the World University Games. So for anyone that doesn't know what it is, it's basically, we call it like a student Olympics. Because there's so many different sports, and there's an athlete village and stuff like that, similar to the real Olympics. You've obviously went and represented us twice. First in 2017, which was in Taipei in Taiwan, and then that was 2017, and more recently it would have been 2019 in Naples in Italy. So you'd have been second year for the first one? Yeah,
I just turned 19, going over to Taiwan at the time. So unbelievable. I can't even. That was my first time playing senior level, like Ireland or whatever. But it was, like, I can't even describe it. It, like, you're around different cultures, different people, different like country. Like it was. I can't, like, it's hard to describe when you're not there. Like, yeah,
I know. Like I said, for people listening to that, it's like a student Olympics, but it really is. There's countries from all over the world represented, and to be picked, you have to be obviously playing kind of top level in college, like playing like really, really well for your college, in your club football and stuff like that. And they pick a squad, they do trials and stuff like that. It's not only the best of the best go. It is obviously quite difficult to get picked with the amount of colleges and universities we have in the country, and we are lucky enough to be selected twice. I know I'd seen videos of the opening ceremony, which is amazing, and everyone carrying the flags, and especially the Chinese sort of stuff with the lanterns and fireworks, and it's a full stadium, like that would hold it, and like how many thousand, but like a proper stadium, and it's just full people coming in to watch you, and like you're almost like celebrities, like everyone's coming to watch you.
You literally are, and they're all waving. You're like, oh hi.
I remember Jamie telling me that you're getting asked for autographs and stuff like that. It's mad.
They didn't even know us.
And like you come home then, like, and it's not like, not saying that like you aren't celebrities around, but like when you come home you're just like, oh, there's Ellie, like, you know what I mean? Like if someone passes you on the street and like if you don't know you, they don't know you.
But like, like, you know
what I mean? It's mad, and that these people are like want to get this person's autograph. It's probably at home in someone's kitchen, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's obviously your first kind of, like, you're playing over in Taipei, and like I think the environmental stuff there was like, in terms of weather and things like that, was like, it must have been really tough because it was like 30 something degrees playing in the evening time and mad humidity. And how did you kind of adapt to that?
Hard. That's all. Like the humidity was literally between, I'd say 90% humidity in the air.
Frizzy hair all over the place.
Yeah. And like the weather, even the pitches, so we had to play in Astro. So we were told no black boots because obviously black absorbs the heat in your feet, so your feet would be on fire. So you all got white boots, and like playing in the Astro, like your legs to be dead. Even playing Astro here and
it's
like
tough.
It's hard on the calves and all. So I think as well as the weather, the Astro kind of affected us as well.
And how did you fare out then in that?
13th. Yeah.
See, like it's one of those competitions where you could, if you win one game, you could end up finishing top 6. But if you lose, you end up like you're in and around there. But like we're saying, these are the best players from every country that are playing. So it's like it's not easy. You're not playing it just against your average players. Do you know what I mean?
Like they could be playing there on their national team, like because if you're in college, you can. And playing the national team, like you could go and compete this.
And I'm sure a lot of them were playing in some similar setups like that. Now, obviously, you go over together, and the lads would be over there as well. So I know you was like the lads and the girls, they mixed a good bit as well, which was nice to see. And obviously, you got to meet new people that you probably don't know. You might know all through football, but you really get to spend time with them. You're away for, what was it, 2-3 weeks?
3 weeks, the first one. Yeah.
So it's obviously a long time, and I suppose it's no less than you kind of deserve for the performances you put in with your own team, especially with the colleges and universities, that you get to have these experiences. And obviously, for people that don't know as well, if you represent Ireland at these games, you get an international cap. So it's recognised. It's like a proper tournament. It's top level stuff. So obviously that was your first experience of it, and it's obviously all a bit mad. And then the next one rolls around in 2019, and it's in Naples in Italy. Yeah. So that's probably maybe a bit more of an appealing place. You hear Italy.
Yeah, definitely.
Italy in
nice
August time, like, yeah, bit of wine.
Yeah. Few pizzas.
Yeah.
No,
so like obviously you have your experience from the first one, and then the months rolling around in 2 years, and like did you have to were people kind of in touch with you along the way, kind of keeping tabs with you for the next one, knowing that it was coming up in 2 years' time?
Well, you kind of always in the back of your head knew it was there, coming up, and you wanted to make the team again. There's more trials coming up. Like, I know with the lads is different. They have an actual college team who like are picked a year before or whatever, but the girls completely different. It's I think last year it was picked 3 weeks before the tournament. Do you know what I mean? So I think at the same time we went over to Italy expecting not to do so well. Not to do so well, or like not as like play, like we don't know each other, like playing on the same team.
You knew it'd be tough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we kind of went over expecting to do kind of the same come around 13, 14. Do you know what I mean? And we went
that
over.
Didn't happen though.
No, shock. We Brazil was our first match. Brazil actually won it in Taiwan. So we were like, oh God, we're playing it's a hard start. Like, yeah, went over and we're literally like Barcelona playing against them.
You say it like you're surprised.
Yeah, because we were expecting, like, obviously if a team comes, you're playing against a team who won it 2 years before. You're like, oh, this is gonna be tough, like hard battle. Went and we won 1-0 the first match, and from there kind of it's hit off, like it was great.
And obviously Nisha was over with you for that one as well. So from our standpoint, as the college, we were delighted to get 2 years over and to represent us. And you've obviously done quite well yourself individually over there. I know you scored a couple of goals and you finished as top scorer, didn't you?
Well, on the team, Ireland, yeah, I'd say so. But yeah, I think played 5 matches. I think I scored 5 goals. So
I have 5 and 5 written down here with a question mark, so it wasn't 100%, but I thought it was somewhere around that. Yeah,
I was lucky enough. Like, it was great. Like, the way we played was brilliant. Like, we were more attacking. We just went for it in that tournament, and I think the tactics really helped us a lot.
I remember at times watching the games from 2017. They're obviously live streamed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And watching yourselves and the lads, but obviously it found a lot of the times that it was kind of more so City banging up to the striker, and like if it was yourself or someone else that was up there, like we talk about being isolated, like it really is like 1 against 4, and it's you're really clutching at straws and then everyone's trying to sprint up to catch up with the striker, and it's just a lot to ask. But I think, like you said, the kind of change of in style and tactics and stuff really played in your favour, and obviously for you to score 5 and 5 was fantastic, and it just shows how consistent you were, and that helped you to finish where you did. And do you want to just let everyone know where you did end up finishing?
So we got to this semi-final and we were playing against North Korea, and I can't even explain how good of a team they were. Like, they were built in the military, like,
just well drilled.
Yeah, so well drilled. Just unbelievable. Like, credit them because they were such a good team. I think we lost the semi-final maybe 5-0.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so we were in, like, we didn't mind. Like, obviously we had a medal contention still. We were up for bronze medal. 3rd place finish when against Russia. And yeah, winning 2-0. And oh God, brings bad memories. But yeah, we ended up drawing 2-2, went to penalties, and unfortunately we lost penalties. So
yeah, but I suppose similar enough. Yeah, to what we had said earlier with the kind of the Wexford final. Like, in a final, anything can happen. I know you've gone so well, obviously winning your 5 games and scoring 5 goals in 5 games, and winning along the way to get up into being medal contention, as opposed to 2 years previous being nowhere near a medal spot. So I think you have to take the wins in
good
different,
things out of it,
because like obviously you have jumped up so far and you're finishing place like that in itself is a real positive, and it can only be built on then for whenever the football is back in the next university games. I know it's a bit up in the air at the minute. And then I think it's Russia is another one then after. I don't think it's been involved in that either, but you don't know what things change. But obviously now that this is your college career has finished as of this year, and what a career, like we said, with silverware, 2 university games, getting international caps, individual awards, and everything in between. Could you give us a highlight from your time as a third level football player?
In college, let me think now. I think I've 2. Okay. Obviously, the cup final against Cork, my very first year, winning that, it going to penalties and us winning. I think that kind of started off my college kind of career in a way. Like, it was good to win that, and then the second one has to be the futsal. Winning the futsal, like the team. Oh, we just had a laugh the whole time, like, and we had a great bunch of girls last year, and every year, like, obviously had a great bunch, but it was just the togetherness kind of on that team, just and winning the futsal probably as well. Are you sad that it's over now? Yeah, I know. It's so sad, like. Yeah,
I remember finishing last year, and obviously we'd finished with winning the league and it was great, but I remember like because our last 2 games were 2 finals, like played in the cup and we were beaten by Waterford, and then 2 weeks later played Tallaght and won the league. But just like every game coming down, they're like, this is my second last game for the college, this is my last game for the college, and it was just like, obviously you have to get that out of your head and you just have to play the games. But like when I wasn't obviously like actually playing and training, and I just had my own time to think, it was just I was so sad. I was like I can't say down, but it was just like you just know you're never gonna like get to go out with the same group again. No more training together, no matches, no away trips, and just the crack that you have together, which really does make the whole experience. It's tough when it's finishing, but like we said, I think you've definitely like left the place in a better position than you found it along the years down all the stuff you've done, and you've gotten some good players coming in now, hopefully
great team there,
pass on the torch. And obviously this year we had a bit of a mad year. I'd spoken to Aviva about it, like, and I'd taken the years of the team, and we had a couple of games where we were down to bare bones, and we'd spoken about the Dundalk game, and winning with 11 players and stuff like that, and then going out some games and getting tongued as well. It all plays its part, but we had a fun year anyways.
A few highs, few lows.
But we balanced ourselves out.
Not to be named, not to be talked about.
But look, you take the good with the bad, as you said. Now, it said a particular story to Aviv that happened a couple of years ago that I think you'll remember fondly, which was the wet floor sign. So did you have much of a part in that?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
So for anyone, if you haven't listened to the episode with Aviv, we were talking about a story that the girls were playing Waterford, wasn't it?
Down the futsal when we won the futsal.
So they won the futsal, and obviously the trophy wasn't enough, so they had to borrow a wet floor sign. And I think me and Aviv were saying that the bus floor was wet or something like that, so you just needed the sign.
Oh, that was some laugh.
But like things like, and Aviv was telling us that you're writing stuff on there, writing like little kind of phrases and all you've been saying throughout the year, and stuff like that.
Stairs.
Yeah, and we are out tonight, which I know was the name of your group chat as well. So it obviously like it stuck with you. But no, little stories like that, and little bits of fun like are the things that really do stay with you. And it was the
bus journeys and stuff, like having a laugh, like bit of karaoke, a few quizzes, few drinks, but
few wars and Lucas Aid, wasn't it? Like you had Ellie singing Versatile and stuff like that, and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Just some great memories and some stuff as well. Like obviously I was delighted to be able to still be involved in college football this year as a manager with yourselves and then the lads' second team, because obviously not being a player anymore, I would have really missed it, and getting an extra year involved still in dressing rooms, really enjoyed it and made some more memories. I think obviously anyone that plays in Blanche knows exactly what we're talking about and the sort of kind of togetherness we have between our 4 teams. It really is a great place to play, and obviously now like you finished up, but we won't be too sad about it because you've had a good time. Like you said, scholarship student for 4 years, represented us really, really well, and got us through a lot of games with your performances. Obviously, like now, you being a 4th year, you'd be one of our senior players in the team, and yourself and Nisha would have obviously been like captains between you, of Nisha being captain, yourself being vice captain. It was important obviously to have someone that would be leading the torch on next year and the year after Nisha when she's gone to the 4th year, but to be able to then have someone like yourself, and obviously there's a couple of other girls as well that would be quite vocal in dressing room, but would you see yourself as much of a leader?
Well, I'd like to hope, like to think I am. Like, we haven't played and experienced like football at a top level and stuff, so I'd like to think so, and kind of pass it on to players such as even Nisha now as captain, and who the older ones like Ave, the likes of Ave, and a few of the other girls who still have a few years now, and the players coming in. I think with them experiences college football now, they can pass it on to the new first years and kind of bring it in as well.
Because I know certainly I would have thought that of you, and there's times in the dressing room at half time or maybe even at full time, whether we're doing well or not so well, there was times where I didn't have to say so much because I had the likes of yourself, or I had Nisha, or I had Ave to do a bit of the talking and kind of rally the troops a bit. I know, like you're saying, your experience plays a lot into it, and even at times where there's times where I think you didn't have to even say anything, that the performances you put in and the effort and application that you had, and professionalism would be enough to kind of get girls on the team to be like, right, come on, we need to pull together here and work as a team. And obviously that stuff, like I know you've obviously been used to being kind of the kid in the team, like coming into Peamount seniors at 14 and going to play with the senior women's team for Ireland at 2021. But in this setting then you are kind of senior, and I think it's nice then to be able to carry that experience of being a senior player in little things like talking and stuff like that, being a voice in the dressing room. You can bring that then into Peamount when you're into the senior team. Obviously now you're still in the senior team and you're still quite young, like 21 is still very young. I know it probably feels like you're a lot more of an experienced player because you've been there for so long and you've had so many like good experiences with them. But little things like that, it's always nice to be able to be a leader, and that's qualities that I know managers will look for. And you're talking about trying to be noticed by Vera, hopefully again in the future, and things like that. Being a leader on the pitch is definitely something that can catch a manager's eye.
Exactly, yeah.
Just to finish off, then, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you. Just kind of bit more kind of a personal thing. Do you consider yourself like a leader or a role model? And I like to think that myself and Tiffin Kelly and Ronan and stuff that are involved in sport would definitely have agreed with that. But is there anyone or any people who you would look up to as a role model, or someone you'd admire, be it football or not football? Just is there anyone that does that for you?
Well, I think there's a few, like obviously Katie Taylor. She's played football herself, like played for Ireland at, I think it was 16, playing senior team, and now coming up and actually like winning the Olympics. Like I think she's one of the most obvious ones. That she is such a role model to young players and at any sport or whatever. And even the likes of Louise Quinn, like 2020 ambassador, like her coming from Peamount and like going off playing professional, playing for Arsenal now, and being such a lead in the Irish national team now. And I think she, even knowing her and like her come training, so in her off season she'd come up to Peamount and train with us and stuff. So I think that's really cool. Yeah, that's kind of great to have someone like her around, someone with a vast like amount of experience and kind of pushing you on. And there's a lot of people, like they're just Irish examples, but there's a lot of players around the world, and I think girls are seeing girls as role models now. Like,
Yeah,
there's a lot of role models for girls now.
I think a part of you mentioned Louise Quinn, who is a 2020 ambassador, which for people that don't know what the kind of 2020 campaign is, it's trying to promote women in sport, like through participation. What's the participation? 20% participation, 20% spectatorship, and social media, is it? Like stuff online. So it's just basically trying to promote the women's game, 20% in those kind of pillars by the end of the year 2020, and I think it has come on a lot. And Louise Quinn being an ambassador, like we'd said, she just seems kind of like, I don't know, like a mother hen or a wise owl. You know what I mean? She just kind of, like, you can see it from her. She just like, we were at, like I mentioned earlier, we were at that Ireland game, and Figo and Jordan O'Brien they were doing performance analysis. So the two lads we all went to the game. A group of us just to watch, but the two lads were doing an assignment at it, so they had to just like write down. So say if it was the amount of corners or tackles or stuff like that, they had to note them down. But then afterwards, so Louise Quinn, a couple of other players are going around taking pictures and signing autographs, and the lads run down with their sheets and ask her to sign them, and she did. Like she autographed them, and even just that, like, just shows kind of how down to earth she is.
She is
someone that's at the top of her game, has so much time for fans and taking pictures. And even you're saying coming back in the off season, going back to Peamount and training, and would obviously have an impact on the lot of viewers that are there.
Exactly,
and kind of like seeing what the standards are like, and someone to really like take inspiration from.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we were saying, like, we had found like that you'd be that sort of person in our setting in college, to scale, like you come, like for her being playing for Arsenal and playing for Ireland women's team, you'd be the same going to university games and getting senior call-ups for the girls that play with us now in the college. And in the same sort of sense, you'd obviously be very down to earth and very like welcoming with new girls, and like getting them involved and just making them feel comfortable. So
I think you have to be like that at the same time. Like, you can't have a big head and walk around thinking you're the best thing ever. I think you have to have the balance between like getting on with all the girls and like welcoming them, because if they don't get that first welcome in, they might not even come back to football. Like, so you need that. Definitely.
And it's a nice quality to have. Obviously, you said, like, it's not without having a big head, but like there's nothing to say that you couldn't, like, with the amount of things you've done, saying playing for your country in like senior, and even with the college then representing us. Like, it could be very easy for you to come back and just be kind of like smelling yourself a bit, you know what I mean? And kind of just like not kind of taking care of the players who don't really play as much or who are only getting involved. But that's obviously not you, and like I said, you are very grounded, which is great to see, and we'll definitely stand to you going forward. Just to finish off then, 2 questions for you. So you're obviously going to graduate soon. Have you any plans?
No.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I could even go for the internship, what you're doing right now. Like,
why not?
I think so. I think it's great, and to be involved as well in football in college again.
You could be the gaffer next year.
Yeah, exactly.
But there still is obviously time for you to still figure that out. I know, like, I was kind of in a similar boat with being in 4th year and finishing up, and I have obviously had the idea of the internship, but outside that, not really a whole lot. So kind of did put my eggs in one basket, but it turned out okay in the end. But so you're going to finish up soon enough. Obviously get through the situation we're in now, with the whole COVID thing, and once obviously your assessments are sorted out and things like that, you can get through it, and we'll hopefully then be able to kick on and do whatever it is you put your mind to. Last question for you before we finish up. I know the season has been postponed at the minute. It's been put on the back burner. Hoping to restart in, I think it's the 19th of June, is it, around that time?
Yeah, I think so.
They're hoping for that anyways, but we should see it at some point anyways, even if they have to change the structure and you might play each other one less time in the round of games. So I'm sure we'll see the Women's National League and League of Ireland returning soon. But when it does, obviously you're about to prepare to start your season, and then all this happens. So what are your goals this year for Peamount, be it personal or team goals? Just what are your aims?
Yeah, so obviously the league we don't even know if it's going to start in June. So, well, obviously the main priority for us is that we all stay healthy. Like, our main goal for the season anyways at the start. So even without the league even starting, we just have to stay healthy. And my goals with Peamount this year, we've Champions League in August. We don't know if that's going to happen. Like, so obviously it'd be great if it does go ahead, but if not, we know it's for the best, like, of our health. So obviously that's a goal we want to get through if it is happening. Like, we want to get to the group stage or the knockout stages, which would be brilliant. And I think pushing on from last year, winning the league, we'd love to win the league again. Get back to the Aviva.
Yeah.
Get one over on Wexford now, hopefully, or whoever comes across us. But yeah, personally, I think I just want to stay fit and kind of help the team out as best I can, and kind of do the best I can for the team. And yeah, that's really it. The goals for me, yeah.
I think that's some realistic ones as well. Obviously, staying fit, and you're obviously doing your work outside of football. Obviously, doing gym stuff and whatever. And I'm sure you're probably keeping up with that yourselves with Peamount. I know everyone teams are doing like Zoom calls and things like that. And still trying to stay occupied. But look, thanks very much for giving us your time. Really appreciate it. It's a great story to tell, and I'm glad we can put it out there to people who might not know it.
Yeah, thanks very much.
You're welcome. And for everyone obviously listening at home, stay safe. We'll see you again soon for another episode, and thanks for coming to our Tud Talk.